Number 10. Decades of memories. TikTok users at Paprinitsa decided to live stream their walk around a seriously creepy abandoned house. Locals reckon the place has been completely cursed ever since the old owners died. Every family that's tried to move in has been violently chased out by something they can't even see. So, these lads step inside, make their way into the lounge, and, well, they find out pretty bloody fast that the legends are true. Keep your eyes on the background. Just watch what happens the second they walk in.
Ce să, frate, să filmez ușa asta? Ce să filmez? Na, uite! O da rempotul, o arunca rempotul jos. Mi-au zis oamenii să iau rempotul, frate, uite, o arunca rempotul jos. Uite, frate, o arunca rempotul jos, ați văzut? Uitați aparatul.
Uite, fiul le-a aruncat.
Uite. Uite cum le-a aruncat la picioarea mea. Uite, uite.
The spirit box gets thrown across the room towards the team. At this point, they hadn't even been there that long. So against all better judgment, they decided to knuckle down and flick through some old personal effects and photos that were scattered throughout the house. Which was when they noticed that this entity was intelligent.
Aici ai poze cu cineva mort. Nu știu dacă știți. Da? Aici, unde degetul meu, e cineva mort. E domnul Petrică, cum așa Iesu zicea. Unde zboară vulturii?
Vulturii pleșuvi.
O, hai de mine, n-am mâncat așa. Na, mai zi ceva, frate. Na, mai zi ceva, că abia l-am scos și nebunesc. Dacă nu mă duc la Socola, la Bălăceanca cu casa asta...
La mine cred că a fost frică.
Dacă nu mă duc la Bălăceanca cu casa asta, nu mai gata.
Vorbește cu Petrică. Nu mort, măi, stai, oameni în masă de revelion. Nes la masa de revelion.
Cazare, aruncă cu întârziere, auzi. Ia. But...
Did you see that? The drawer was fully removed out of the frame before the investigator slotted it back in. So how did it open by itself when he stood back? These kinds of calculated reactions led a lot of viewers to believe that the entity inside the home was some sort of poltergeist, looking to cause some kind of scare or surprise, meaning it was actively monitoring the group from the second they walked in that door.
Mamă, frate, fii atent! Holy shit! Vai, nu mai știu să vorbesc.
No wonder the families who try to live there had to leave. What do you think is the truth behind the haunting? Leave your theories down below. Number 9. The cost of views. YouTuber Pasty Pickle was in the middle of a pretty heavy life update, just venting to his viewers about work and money stress. But right as he's opening up, he gets interrupted by something that absolutely made his skin crawl. Take a look.
It's a lot easier for me if I can just, find a video clip of some politician or some news anchor saying something really stupid and get some views from that, than it is. It's easier for me to get views from that than it is, new content at the moment. So, just what I'm saying is bear with me. The fuck? Yeah. It was pretty fucking weird. Got that on tape. Yeah, that. I know you guys aren't gonna believe that really just happened, but as you can see, there's no one in the room with me here. I've kind of chose this room because it was the only room in my house without someone in here.
Out of nowhere, the phone just drops. Now you might say it was just plonked on the holder badly and slipped, but let's slow that video down. Watch the handle. You can actually see it lift up twice on its own right before it gets knocked off. Take a look.
New content at the moment, so just what I'm saying is bear with me.
What I'm saying is bear with me.
Whatever did that had to physically grab the handle to push it. Plus, he immediately pans the camera around to prove he's completely alone in the room. But to play devil's advocate for a second, isn't it a bit dodgy how he's sitting off to the side? It's almost like he made sure that the phone was perfectly in frame the whole time. A commenter pointed this out, but he had a response that sort of ties up that loose end. So, was this a coincidence, or was it planned? How could the phone lift up from the bottom with no one there to mess with it? Paranormal fans reckon entities actually feed off bad energy, so when you're massively stressed out, that's exactly when they show up to mess with you, either to support you or feed off your negative emotions, also known as spontaneous psychokinesis. Do you think this is what happened, or is there another explanation? Leave any of your ideas down in the comments.
New content at the moment, so just what I'm saying is bear with me.
Number 8. The Unfinished Trail. Waldo and his missus were out for a walk in the snow when they found something very weird right outside their house. At first, they didn't think much of it, but then they took a closer look and followed the tracks. That's when they started absolutely bricking it, because they quickly realized this was no ordinary trail. Let's watch. The prints by the door looked human, but the anatomy was completely wrong. One foot pointed straight forwards, whilst the other pointed backwards. Unless someone was twisting their legs to hide their identity, this was not human. But as Waldo's missus kept following the trail, it gets proper disturbing. The tracks literally morph from human into God knows what. Watch closely.
And this is where they end.
The tracks suddenly turn into massive animal prints, and then they just stop dead in a large clearing. No exit tracks anywhere. The only prints in the fresh snow lead straight to their front door. Could it be a skinwalker Some commenters reckon it's a flesh gate, a shape-shifting monster that mimics voices and blends right in before it hunts. Either way, definitely not what you want knocking at your house. What do you reckon? Monster skinwalker or something else entirely? Number 7. Lost in the Dust. The urban exploration group Herb Explorers found a strange hole in the middle of the woods, so they decided to explore it and see where it led. But what they thought was going to be a quick look around turned into a grueling 5-hour journey where they realized that they were not the only ones moving through the underground tunnels. Did you see that? At around the 20-second mark, something is caught retreating back into the tunnels after peeking around the corner at them. The kid's clothing scattered around is creepy enough, but the pale-faced figure with the glowing red eyes watching them, enough to make anyone's stomach turn. After a while of exploring and experiencing nothing of note really, they tried to make their way back, but ran into a problem. They couldn't remember where they came from. Luckily, after petrifying hours, they were able to find their way back to the entry point. But what the hell was that figure? Some kind of tot-nabbing boogeyman? Someone in a mask? Or something else? Leave any of your thoughts down below. Number 6. The Factory Echo. Experienced urban explorer Urbex Hill was taking a tour of the Richmond Brothers factory in Cleveland, Ohio. Built in 1917, the place became a 5-story complex between 1925 and 1927, having a successful run until it was left abandoned in 1992, with no one restoring it since.
Was that? Hello? 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 Nobody's in there. And I definitely heard something. How the fuck?
Did you see that? Some kind of matter falls from the ceiling and seems to flail around by itself. and when he moves to leave, he hears strange noises that he couldn't place. They could have been coming from the other side of the warehouse, or right next to him. He had no idea. Thoroughly creeped out by the bumps, bangs, and things being thrown at him, he decided to take his leave by vaulting through a window. He said he had a super bad feeling the whole time and just could not continue exploring. Warehouses are often known for workplace accidents. Could all of that trauma still be locked inside the walls all these years later? What do you think? Number 5. The Weight of the Woods. Over on Reddit, Jacob Abraham posted a clip of a chill hike that turned into an absolute nightmare. He spots something far off, reckons it's a bear, and starts filming. But watch closely. He quickly realizes it's something much, much worse. Look at that massive, dark, furry figure dodging between the trees. Jacob showed his mate, and they reckon they've caught a literal Sasquatch on camera. Seeing it stand straight up and stomp about, Reddit totally agreed it's proper weird. But obviously, you've got skeptics. Some say it's just a brilliant hoax, a bloke in a costume, or some guy bundled up in thick winter clothes. To be fair, the footsteps do look pretty human. They're small, careful, and a bit clunky. But what do you think we're looking at here? Drop your theories down in the comments. Number 4. Testing the paranormal. Dennis and his maid Deborah were having a quiet chat on shift at their clinic. Suddenly, a massive bang echoes down the hall like a bloody riot alarm. Absolutely jumping out of their skin, they leg it straight to the bathroom to see what's kicked off. But what they find waiting inside, well, take a look at this.
Coisa que acontece no meu plantão.
Você vai tirar foto minha aqui, viu?
Não tem. Oi. Olha aí, olha aí. Não, sabe mesmo, deixa eu ver se tem alguém aqui dentro. Tá vendo? Não tem ninguém aqui dentro. Rapaz, minha não começa aqui.
The handle actually gets yanked shut, but the room is completely empty. The very next day, Dennis goes back to the exact same bathroom, filming to prove no one is in there. He leaves the door open just a crack. And, well, watch closely.
Coisas que acontecem no meu plantão, parte 2.
Tem ninguém aqui dentro, ninguém. Vou fechar aqui, deixar escoradinho aqui, ó. Ó. É calma, você fecha já. Ó, sozinho. Ó, não tem ninguém aqui, ó. É incrível. Olha, ó. Maçaneta mexendo. Fecha aí, olha. Fecha a porta, vai. Fecha. Fecha. ninguém perto da porta, ninguém. Ó a maçaneta. Olha. Ai.
The door pulled closed and clicked into the latch all by itself. There were no hidden mechanisms involved with the door. It was just a normal wooden door with a handle that you open and close manually. No drafts either. Being in such a small space with no exits means the air would have been still, so it would not have blown closed either. So what is inside that room? What do you think? Number 3. The Mother of the Pit. A group of blokes were out hiking through some remote rocky terrain when they stumbled across this massive, deep pit. Naturally, they wander over to have a nosy. But what they come face to face with down there is absolute nightmare fuel. Watch closely. A woman dressed in dark clothing and tenderly holding a child staring up at them. Her gaze was fixed, washing each of them over with a sense of dread. And when they looked closer at the child in her arms, they noticed something even more disturbing. Not only is she staring at them with a twisted, psychotic smile, the little one she's holding just doesn't look right. It's way too big to be a baby, and under all that hair, there's zero skin showing. It's bundled up in a manky yellow quilt, dangling there like a limp body. Thankfully, the lads had the common sense not to head down, and they absolutely legged it. But that left them with a lot of questions. Who was that woman? What was she really holding? Why was she down there? Do you think you can answer any of these questions in the comments? Number 2. The FaceTime follow-up. This girl just got off FaceTime with her mate after a shower, having a laugh because her towel was wrapped terribly. So, trying to prove she could actually do it right, she starts filming a quick video. But right as she hits record, she spots something that makes her want to pack her bags and move straight out of there. Watch this. The curtains start moving, but it's way too deliberate. You can tell something is properly tugging at them. The second she realizes it's not a draft, she panics and bolts for the bathroom, screaming her head off. Her fear looks dead real too. She's now certain the whole building is haunted, especially since her neighbors have been reporting the exact same weirdness. So, do you reckon this is some kind of spirit, or is there another explanation? Number 1. Frozen Terror. TikTok user BigfootMI caught this terrifying encounter while he was stuck in a snowstorm with his mate and his dog. They're wandering deeper and deeper into the forest, desperate for a bit of shelter, and eventually find this tiny shack to hunker down in. But when it's time to head back out, the dog just won't budge. So they stop to listen, and that's when they find out what's really out there in the dark. Take a look.
You guys hear that? Folks in here. Hold on. You guys, is that right? It's right there. What's that noise? You guys hear that? What is that? Let's tell them when to go. What is that? There's a couple, for sure. Hey, watch them. This is crazy. Watch them, bros. Watch them. They are.
These high-pitched, screeching screams start ripping through the air, and every single one sounds closer than the last. Even the dog is proper terrified, growling and staying low to the ground. He definitely senses something dangerous nearby. Some reckon it's just a bobcat in the area, or maybe someone messing about with an Aztec death whistle. But why are the screams so uncanny sounding and creeping closer each second? Could this be the work of a Wendigo, or nature just being nature? We'll let you decide.
Guys, they're right. It's right there. What's that noise? You guys hear that? What is that? That's definitely a Wendigo. What is that?
Hand-like shape that forms out of the darkness. And that quiet, physical touch is exactly what the look at the glass on the cabinet. Everything in the room has a reflection, except for the figure. It's a solid, dark shape with the toy moving isn't a haunting, it's an invitation. But when that invitation is ignored, the playful energy turns into a violent